They could.
Dire team
Morphling banned, so Zoo Heroes probably not going to be in big favor, at least now. When you see the morph, you do like to go for the Beastmasters, the Lycans, which can be handy. Night Stalkers are also decent, and there's more initiation power. There's even more initiation power. Execration has a lot to actually protect this Enigma. We saw from Geek Fam where Narman played Spirit Breaker, and then they had Quap with the Enigma. So you have two separate heroes capable of keeping, one, the Rubik busy, and two, very nimble, somewhat tanky, durable heroes that are able to move around and kind of give you the vision, keep the opponents busy, and allow the Enigma to save your cores and allow them to deal damage. Clock and Tusk together. I really like Execration's way of building around the Enigma, but is it too one-dimensional?
I think not. Because you have the Enigma that's gonna be staying at one part of the map, and you can, because your lineup is one-dimensional, you can change it up the way you play. You can be on multiple parts of the map because you have good vision and stuff like that, and then you can run from and away from and towards the Enigma. So okay, let's have a team fight, you run towards the Enigma. Okay, let's take pickoffs, you can do it anywhere on the map. So you can have some kind of a tempo in the game. It's not gonna make it your lineup one-dimensional. I really like now that Execration banned out the Dawnbreaker, because the Dawnbreaker would be the downfall of their lineup. It would just stay in the lane where the Enigma is, and the rest of XERXIA's heroes would stay on the other part of the map, farming faster than Execration, and then you can't go into them, right? And by banning out the Dawnbreaker, XERXIA don't have that kind of a hero that is always going to be able to join their teammates.
Gyrocopter's pretty nice. He's already good against the Enigma in the lane. I like this pick. I like how it goes in. This is the one rare time where I say Gyro's actually a good pick. Even without the auras.
I'm not so sure, because you still have so many heroes to ban out. That Crush the Gyro, Jugger, Lifestealer, Terrorblade. All of them are heroes you don't want to be playing against, and you have no buffs on this hero. I'm not sure about it. Other than crushing the Enigma, there isn't much use for it. Plus, Execration have really good kiting heroes. Even if you get your satanic timing at a really decent time, there is a good ability for Execration to just dodge you, to move away from you, and then re-engage when they find an opening. So I'm not sure. I feel like XERXIA are a little bit too slow. Both Gyro and Delina want to hit creeps, and Execration are very mobile. One of these heroes gets an arrow and dies, and the save on your side is very limited. It's only the tiny toss back.
Well, yeah, the Gyrocopter is kind of nifty outside, but then again, I do like the way it sits in with the Lina, where kind of the Lina turns into the true carry. If this is a mid Lina, that's what I want to see in this lineup for XERXIA. Though it could still change, where they put the Tiny instead. I wouldn't like the Tiny against the Clockwork. It feels like it will take a long time until the Tiny actually turns into a threat, because Clockwork, one, battery assault, makes Tiny's life super hard to even deal out any damage. Tusk is difficult to kill. You're gonna need to you're gonna need to overpower them in terms of items and levels. So rather Lina instead of the Tiny. Silver Edge BKB build up.
Dire team pick.
Drow Ranger.
Nothing to jump on the Drow though. Very good Drow game for Execration. This is even better.
Interesting, yeah. Gyro doesn't like heroes that can do a lot of damage before he can get close, and Drow is like that. Plus, you're playing against two range heroes, no one to get in your face. I think XERXIA needs something like a Centaur, something along those lines.
Yeah,
that really
I agree.
gets
Centaur
close.
does kind of does the somewhat same thing. Beastmaster. I'm still gonna go with Execration on this one. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm saying Gyrocopter's a good pick, yes, and actually put into the support role. So Ken Tiny, Karma with the Lina. Carry Lina. Hey, is there Carry Lina, by the way?
Yeah, that's cool. But not the greatest Carolina game though, because man, I mean, you have so many things to get in your face. Actually, a mid lane I would like more, because you go for a Maelstrom, you delay your BKB timing, you're gonna be a sitting duck. Now the Enigma has just one target in this one. It's the Lina, and that's it. So I'm I'm scared for XERXIA in this game, I have to say. When I saw the Beastmaster, I was like, okay, at least some buff for the gyro. He can be strong enough. If he gets into the face of the Drow Ranger, get an early Satanic, bam, 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 you kill them. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan right now of what XERXIA are going for. Plus, the mid lane Tiny, the only real target that he has around the map is gonna be the Mirana. The other ones are very tough to kill.
Yeah, that is true. So I think we're gonna see Execration beating 2 lanes. One of them, the last one's probably gonna be a tie lane, most likely just trading off farm. But what would you say? You don't have to specify which lanes. Just give me how many lanes will which team win.
I think it's gonna be even. Mid lane, even. Off lane, slightly in favor of XERXIA, and safe lane of Execration slightly in their favor. I think that's how it goes. I don't see a big winner here in the laning phase. Lina really should be able to do well against the Enigma Clockwork.
All right, so both teams win 1 lane and 1 tie.
Yeah.
See if that happens. Yeah. Heading over to the last series of the day, Execration versus XerXia. XerXia sitting at the bottom of the groups. And this is where you got to start winning. You got to start getting some points. Even a tie can pay or play a big role if you're going to the lower bracket or not, or force some small hopeful chance to push through. You're 1 game away from Unity, and you're 2 games away from Lilgun in terms of map wins, but you're gonna need to have at least a series victory to really put yourself on the safe side. Running out of series for XerXia. They're playing Execration now. Later on, Geek Fam, Lilgun, Spawn. Not gonna get easier. That's already two tough teams to beat.
Man, that Drow set, the way that it goes with the Arcana is just amazing.
It's like a
I'm
witch
loving
hunter.
it. Yeah.
Kind of looks like, if there's any Warhammer fans out there, it's kind of like a Warhammer witch hunter, just a female version of it. The hat is just majestic.
But you know, it could be a witch as well. Just does have a crossbow, something that the witches usually do not use as their weapon of preference.
You're saying that's a witch?
Yeah, I mean she has a witch hat. It looks like the Harry Potter sorting hat. That's a witch hat, right? You disagree? Okay, Panda disagrees.
Oh, it does have a magician's hat resemblance, yeah. But against every roleplay game, you do not have a wizard with a crossbow.
Yeah, yeah.
You do have wizards with battle hammers, and you call them battle mages, but yeah. Let's leave it at that. Let's get our laning stage underway. Bounty's 2 for 2, and we have our Kunkka Clockwork. That's an awesome set, by the way.
Definitely is. A little pirate.
Arr.
Poor guy doesn't have an eye.
Man,
Still,
like, this actually fits in perfectly. His name is Shanks, and he's cosplaying a pirate.
Yeah, definitely.
Love it. He's thought this through. He's thought this through. This is what Execration wanted in the draft.
But the other hero that he can play is a Kunkka, and that's it.
Yep. Either you are the fleet admiral or you are the pirate. We need more pirate heroes. I mean, I'm waiting for Muerta. Probably gonna be for a long time. We haven't actually had like a proper carry hero. The last carry that the game introduced was like Monkey King, like 5 years ago. Was Monkey King 16 or 17?
17.
17, yeah. So 5 years ago was the last time.
He came out with 7.0,
Yeah.
as far as I remember.
No, I think so too. Pango
the only
became a
reason-
mid. Then we had the Dawnbreaker, the most recent one.
Forgot the
into
Dark
offlane.
Willow.
Yeah, well, the Dark Willow is a support.
Okay. I mean, the only reason that you as a caster want Muerta is because you can go with the dumb jokes like, okay, he is Muerta.
Dumb
You know,
jokes?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a new low, Harry. Twitch chat, I'm looking for a new co-caster.
No.
You're going on a penalty box for that. I'm giving you no mercy for that.
I lost the panda because of my mouth.
You lost your job. Go back to NA. I think you never were there in the first place. Nothing happening in the laning stage except a courier dying. That'll be what's that? DBZ on 214?
Yes.
A BDZ. Sorry, BDZ, not DBZ. That's the one. BDZ, and he's been playing some good Dota lately. He one of the most recent additions to the new Execration lineup.
You Panda didn't watch Dragon Ball, so you don't know. Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. That was
Nope.
the line that every single episode.
I'm not a weeb.
But you know Shanks.
I mean, that's just a pirate name, right?
Yeah, I have a very famous red-haired pirate from One Piece. Yeah.
No, I don't know that. Unfortunately, Shanks just sounds like, you know, like some pirate's cat. Very
Then
powerful
you-
moustache.
You use the term fleet admiral. I'm like, okay, I found an anime that Panda watches, but no. Okay. You got me there, Panda. You actually know all the facts from the anime, and you
And I haven't even watched it.
You don't know it exists. That's
I've heard of the name. But I think that was mainly because who was it again? When we were casting with Symmetrical, he had some posters behind his profile. Oh, sorry, behind his camera. And then we were talking in the draft, and he just started explaining, and I was like, spoiler alert, so you don't want to look at these posters. And then everybody starts looking at the posters, and like, oh, this caster just spoiled me. And they were related to some One Piece, I guess. Bob is having some fun here.
We're having fun as well because the game is so fun. So many kills, so much brawling. Yeah. If this could continue, please.
I love that this is the part where people are like, talk about the game. Well, what is there honestly to talk about right now? It's just people trading farm. Everyone is even in the CS. Look at this green box here. Everyone almost has the same amount of CS. Nothing is happening. There's no kill potential. Well, there's some kill potential with the Mirana and the Rubik here in this bottom lane. Maybe now with the Tiny dying in the mid lane, Bob actually gets it. And it took us almost 5 minutes for the first kill. Hooray!
And it happened in the lane where it almost never happens. But the way that Bob made this happen is because he blocked the Tiny. He pushed him towards the tower with the shards. That's what he did. And then Tiny took way too many hits from the tower. Then on his retreat, Bob actually got his cooldowns back and he finished him off. And this is a big thing because he gets the Walrus Punch before Tiny's level 6. That's gonna hurt.
They're trying in bottom now. Rubito with Zha Bonbon diving. Looking for Palos. Palos, who was a bit of a unfortunate warrior with the Lone Druids and the Nagas. Not had too much success so far, but I guess he's had a bit of warming up to do. Snowball coming in as the Tusk rotation. Arrow into it, nicely connecting onto the Beastmaster. He is somewhat tanky, but Bob will secure the kill.
That's a lot of creeps that Bob missed right now, and Tiny is coming over, so
Ooh,
they can
Ken.
turn this around.
Surprise! There goes BDZ. And, well, Bob, well, he is tanky, and he's got the shot. Does he get tossed back? Oh, so close. Tree toss with a right click. Not going to be enough. Still have the Fairy Fire.
And unluckily for Bob, the rune will be on the top lane, so he's not going to be too happy about that. He needs the Mirana to TP to refill the bottle if he wants to continue laning. Yeah, exactly what's going to happen.
So, let's talk about Lina carry for a moment, shall we? We see him going for the Maelstrom. Let's see what happens between the anime guy versus the Gyrocopter. Jaja, he's dead. Bob's also there. We'll take it. So, yeah, let's talk about Lina. Tell me about this hero. Tell me about the Lina carry. Falcon Blade Maelstrom.
I mean, with the Maelstrom, you even farm faster. Your damage output is insane because of the Fiery Soul. It's pretty much gonna be a right-click Lina, like from the mid lane, just that you're gonna have that early Maelstrom, right? But the downside of it is you get the BKB a little bit too late, and there are heroes who dive in your face in this game. So I'm not really sure Asta is going to be having the greatest of time in the game.
Okay. Well, at least not right now, with Shanks and Tino surrounding him from both edges. And maybe he gets the kill on the clockwork, but that's a big maybe. A battery assault kind of intervenes with the right clicks, and Paolo's also in trouble. Down to 200, has some stick charges to go with, will regenerate. Job on Bon does not have enough damage. Beastmaster gonna be in trouble. Bob making some excellent rotations back and forth. He's up to 4 kills now.
This is why it was a big problem. The Tiny died to the Tuscan mid. Should almost never happen. And now you're allowed to help the Drow Ranger. Drow Ranger is a hero that doesn't want to leave the lane. So against the Beastmaster at some point you have to. But with such a constant threat of a rotation from the Tusk, you can't even dive her. You can't get her out. And it's something that Execration are going to be thriving on.
Black Hole on Tino. Nice. This is going to be a kill. Calculated.
That's twice in a row that Lina dies. XERXIA are falling apart right off the bat. 8 minutes in, it's looking like a disastrous game for them. It all started with that first blood. Really, Bob, he is the X factor of this team, and he even finds a stack right now. That's just amazing. Having a regen rune, you won't even feel it.
Yep. Taking away all the money that they were kind of lining up for this Lina to farm. Now the gyrocopter has to come in with a 1-point flat cannon. Ken rotates in to take down Shanks. Bob, however, he's already moved to the side. Stacks his support for the stacks.
Currently in the meta, the pace at which the game is played is way too high. So when you're going for this kind of greed with the Lina position 1, it usually doesn't work out.
Bob
is a bit too deep.
He's behind enemy lines here. If only Tino had Black Hole, I could have actually caught almost 3 heroes with that one there. But he's tanky, so is the Tusk. They're fighting against some very low HP heroes here, so Tino happy to dive in here. Shards actually catch a collateral on the way, takes down the gyrocopter, and then the Lina. And Zhao Bon, you're gone too. Tino with a double kill, all calculated. They can't kill the Tusk.
Yeah, that's really bad. Really good positioning coming out from Tino, putting his body in front, knowing that he's tanky enough to survive because they already used all their spells on the Tusk. And those shards from Bob were just amazing. They killed the gyro and they block in the Lina, doing damage to both of them. It just makes ending their lives very easy. This has turned really bad really fast for XERXIA. It's not even 10 minutes into the game and they're already 3k gold behind. And I don't see them really pressuring the Drow. Your Tiny isn't close to the blink. It's not looking like they have too many plays to make, and the supports of Execration are only now going to be hitting level 6s.
Shanks taking a couple hits here from Ken. The full burst thrown onto the clockwork, down to 200. That's about 800 damage that he dealt there with the level 2 toss. Tino, Bob continuing to farm, and Karma actually spotted as Bob with his haste rune was wanting to dive, but not that deep. Ken wants to make a move on Tino, and too far for the avalanche, and now Bob's thinking, wait a minute, can we turn this? Is there more people around? And Xiao Bonbon and Judge, I like their movement here. They're not revealing themselves. However, bottom.
Beautiful, beautiful TP. BDZ is there to...
This is the kill that they've been able to take a couple times before. They will do so again. Roar being used, Shanks level 5. 1 hero kill, and he could get level 6 for the hookshot. 2-man cogs, snowball save. Clockwork trying to move them a bit further into the arms of the Marana, and on the toss he will lose his life. He will not get his level 6. Ken killed by Tino. Bob gets a kill as well. Snowball onto the Rubik. Rubik, he's got another snowball in 3 seconds, which he stole from Bob. He could actually kill him here. And it's gonna be Rapido with the Warpine Raider, maybe onto the Marana. Fateball snowball, nicely played by the Rubik, and with the help of the micro of the Beastmaster. And now Palos to the top lane. Yeah, can't take this one. Very close.
That was close. That was very, very close. If the Beastmaster can't take the tower, Zhao Bonbon can. I'm surprised that Execration went aggressively on the bottom lane. It actually wasn't needed overall, but they thought that the Beastmaster was alone, so tried to punish him. This nice ward for XERXIA in their own jungle has been keeping them in the game quite a lot. There have been rotations there towards the Lina, but every single time they were dodging them and actually trying to get something in return for the possibility of that ward there or somewhere close. That is the reason that the Tusk didn't want to fight on top.
Hook shot in. Gonna catch Ken on the Tiny. Charge coming in. Snowball to follow. Starstorm, and Ken doesn't get to do anything. Now they're sitting in the river. They could kill this Clockwork here. Karma, well, they're close to it. BDZ will deny himself into the jungle camp. There's a nice little stack there. Triple stack that kills him. We'll get
He
shanked.
jumps and got
Bob.
stuck.
Yeah, but it's also worthy. He could still, I mean, he maybe could have been able to escape, but oh, they lost the stacks, but they're taking some away from Execration.
I mean, Execration aren't able to get anything more out of their lead. The way that you're gonna win fights and use this lead really is if you play around the Enigma. Everywhere other on the map, you're actually not that stronger than your opponents. And Execration are gonna be finding that out fairly soon. So that's why you're gonna see Tino even pressuring the top lane harder, because you wanna bait XERXIA to go towards the top, fighting against the Wraith Pact and against the Black Hole. That's where they lose.
Apollo's just chilling on the other side of the jungle, farming freely. Tino, Wraith Pact, and an Urn. I like that he went for the Urn early, so he has that extra mana regen for himself, plus a bit of extra damage to go along the sides. Guess we'll think about Vessel at some point, but not necessary. It's not the Morana, who's another hero who likes to build this item, but Tiny is going to get hook shotted. Cogs pushed into the Black Hole. Beautiful.
He needs to use the spell or it's gonna get stolen. You can see the Rubik is coming over. Okay, got stolen.
All right. Well,
He didn't have a spell to use.
nothing to use, yeah. That kind of sucks. It's like, anything to Malefice here? No, no? Okay, well, let's just give the Black Hole away. Rubik with his cherished possession, having this Black Hole.
He's not close to the Blink Dagger though, so it's probably not going to be able to use this one in the best possible way. Doesn't even have the Ethereal Lens, so not the easiest one for Zhao Bonbon to use, but him having a good amount of levels definitely helps in this one, because he's a priority target, but there are a few of those heroes that you're going to have to go through to get to him. Exactly.
Priority target being the key word here. They can even use it to their advantage. If they really want to kill the Rubik to prevent him from black holing, Execration, they can do it, but does it push them out of position? Well, they don't care about positioning, to be honest. If they're just diving this tier 2 tower for a free gyrocopter, they can. That's how fast. If a gyro dies that fast, that's how fast a Rubik will also die. So that black hole is probably never going to go off. Saying probably.
Speaking about Ken, he is going to be finishing his Blink Dagger fairly soon. That is a necessity. You did take down the mid lane and the bottom tower, so the map is open for XERXIA to make use of that Blink Dagger once it does come out.
You see what Enigma just built?
Oh, the Ethereal Lens. Okay. He's playing against the Rubik, so we saw it yesterday. Ethereal Lens and the Shard. Malefice with the Shard is actually stupidly good. It's 135 stun duration from the Malefice. It's actually quite a lot.
Yeah. I would commend him if I could. There's the Giga Chat build. Alright. 4 o'clock tanks fighting in the front line. Use their Dominator for something else here, as they've already lost them, but there's the black hole from Xiao Bonbon turning around, getting some damage in. Tino, he doesn't have his, but they're still gonna win this fight by the looks of it. BDZ, 13 HP to get away. Can he find a tree to toss in? He's just gonna walk back in. Tumbler Toy onto the Enigma. A couple right clicks flying in from Asta. Asta, he's just getting Malefice stunned and blown up by Bob. But Ken does get the Enigma kill. Did he throw a tree in? Yeah, I think he did.
It was flying like for half an hour. It was the longest throw ever, and the Enigma was running away, but it did get to him in the end. Yeah, I think Rubik would be much happier with the spells like Starstorm, Shards, or the Snowball at this point in the game, because you don't have damage. And Asta not having the Laguna Blade there caused them the kill on the Tusk as well.
Doesn't have damage. Look at who dealt the most damage there. Nah, just kidding. Well, he did actually do 2,400 damage. He did do the most
Yeah,
damage in that team fight, but
He did.
nevertheless, at least it gave them a couple kills. So XERXIA only 2,000 gold behind Execration. But we haven't seen too much of Palos yet. He's already got 187 right-click damage, plus the procs from marksmanship. Dragon Lance, Yasha. This Drow is off to a great start, but I just love watching Enigma players first win the lane and then top net worth.
Because you're imagining, oh, imagine if this was me.
I want to
how
play
I
this
would
Enigma
line
right
up.
now. This is a game that makes me want to play this Enigma, not gonna lie.
How? He's staying on the top lane doing nothing and it's super boring. How would you ever want to do that, Panda? Why? Why would anyone do this to themselves?
He's the greatest combination of playing a support and a partial carry. He's the optimal hybrid. Shanks jumps on Jaya. Oh, Ken wants to share the battery assault, so he'll sneak in, squeeze himself inside the cogs to take down the clockwork. And Rapido, well, he's gonna catch the arrow. Stunned for a couple seconds. Palos with the long range split shot, but he's missing every hit. Rubik, he's at half HP. Got the Beastmaster throwing the roar onto the Enigma. Enigma did have a black hole ready, but just nothing to go close in the gaps with. And these gyrocopter rockets are being a nuisance since he does have that shard picked up. So a lot of damage from the rocket barrage that follows.
They're constantly poking Tino in terms of damage, but they can't kill him because of the Wraith Pack. That is another problem from the side of XERXIA, that they don't have a Wraith Pack killer. If Asta would get to a point where he wants to go towards it, he would just get destroyed by the Drow.
Mirana might die here. Okay, Palos intervenes. Okay, that's good. That would have been a silly death if he actually died just running away from a rocket cast. Hence the range cores in your team. Pause called by Palos. So we have a bit of a breather here. Could actually look at the items in general here. What we have so far. Give you a quick update. We have 2 blink daggers in the game. We're probably going to get even more of those, especially Enigma almost finished his. And maybe, would you like to see a blink on a right-click Lina?
Yes, not
But
yet.
later.
Yeah, later. Especially against the Drow. Lina doesn't mind being in the face of someone. Drow hates when someone is in her face. She's just way too shy. So it's an item that at some point you are gonna need. You pop the BKB, you jump onto the Lina, you keep the Rubik behind. Plus, you don't really have that many frontliners. Beastmaster not the greatest. You could put Tiny there, but it's very hard to disengage from Execration. So it's ideal if your Lina can jump in front. It would actually be quite nice.
Bottom wave is quite pushed out, so Bob is currently there. A lot of pings are coming in. They do have some wards placed down. As the Ancient Thunderhide literally walks on top of it. So Bob, he is moving away. They can't really get to that tier 1 tower. XERXIA does have control of the bottom half of the map. But I do like that one ward that they have there, because it allows them to push the wave a little bit further. Forcing XERXIA, if the wave is pushing in, they have to defend it. And the time to get to that tier 2 tower, it increases the whole time.
Speaking about wards, they just saw Execration enter the pit, so XERXIA, they know, but they're not coming over fast enough. I mean, this is a Tusk, this is a Drow Ranger. These heroes can take the Roche down quite fast.
And they just rotated to defend that bottom lane as well with the attempted gank, so with that information, they just went to the Roche pit knowing they can't get there in time, but they're not going to get to finish it, and that allows XERXIA to stack. Oh, they're smoking up and making a wraparound move. This is a chance to surprise XERXIA, but there's only Jaja on the high ground. BDC on the low ground with the Mirana. Walks into the pit. He's got an arrow. Loading it up. Loading. Casting, canceling. Casting, canceling. Walrus punch. With the hook shot into the arrow. Easy kill. Ken. Also Shanks. Shanks is in trouble. And Shanks is down. DD on the Lina. Now you make a judgment call.
I like the idea of a smoke from Execration. I didn't like that they went towards there, because you didn't take the outpost down, so any buyback can be met with a an
They could steal Roche here. They still got the 7 stacks on Lina with the DD. This is going to be even faster than what it was for Execration. Mirana Arrow onto Roshan. Information given, but they're going to have to give it away. XERXIA steals it.
Yeah, Execration needed to find a fight in the mid lane. That is where they should have gone. And they decided to go towards top where they had no vision. The mid lane at that point, they had a ward at the spot where the ward of XERXIA is right now. So very weird decision from them to go for the full wraparound. This would have been faster and the impact would have been greater, especially with them having the blink on the Enigma. But okay, you still got the buyback out. It's obviously not worth it for Execration, but it's not the worst thing in the world. They still hold the top lane completely because they can overtake the outpost once again.
It does feel like a bit of a unnecessary loss since they used the hook shot and then Clockwork died after. I was like, well, how do we actually fight this Roshan? What's the quickest way to get in? Well, the Clockwork. If Mirana Arrow gives you the vision or the Rocket Flare, you have 2 vision giving abilities and then you can't utilize it properly. It feels like a bit of a waste. But like you said, it's not the biggest loss. It's just... Okay, double smoke. That's also a bit more stuff lost for Execration. A 10-minute cooldown at least.
Asta caught up in farm in this game and in levels as well. He's up there. He's only 500 gold behind the first one in the net worth, which is the Drow Ranger.
Jaja found. BDC will spot where this gyrocopter is. Rocket Flare though on the well, the rocket with the flares. Just do some. Why am I saying Rocket Flare? That's a Clockwork ability. Rocket Barrage.
Clockwork is in the game.
Barrage on the homing missile. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah, but Clockwork doesn't rapid fire it like that.
They still have 1 smoke on Execration. I thought that they were gonna be running towards the mid lane right now, but they are gonna pressure the bottom tier 1. I'm not sure. This is a little bit too deep, especially considering that you're up against the Aegis and the BKB Lina. XERXIA could respond to this.
For the time being, letting the tower fall. Maybe catch Bob on an overextension. Wouldn't be the first time. Palos. Oh, LSA misses. Slow connection. He's down to half HP. They're going to jump in. Walrus punch. There's their Aegis gone. Hookshot from Shanks pushing Beastmaster, but it also means the arrow is going to miss. Asta. Another split shot. Ken takes a decent amount of damage. They're all slowed down by the frost arrows, but Execration already gone. They just got a free Aegis for themselves. Well, they gave away the Aegis, which they take now for free away from XERXIA. Does that make any sense?
You learn something every day here. When Bob used the Walrus Punch onto a hero and the hookshot got used, it didn't connect on the hero, it connected on the hero behind him. I know that, let's say, if you impale someone with the Nyx Assassin or Earth Spike with the line, you can go below them, like move, but the hookshot will still connect onto those heroes that are in the air, but with the Walrus Punch it seems like it won't.
And that's because we're living with 3D models and hitboxes. So if the target is too high, it obviously isn't just a box that stretches when the hero flies up. So yeah, but it kind of worked out for them, you know. Well timed it. Wait for me to Walrus Punch and then hookshot. Okay, go, and then you Walrus Punch and hookshot under, like trick shot.
I don't think it. I'm not sure if it was intended, but it did allow the Clockwork to live because he got deeper behind the tier 2 and then he could hide in the trees. If he had connected onto the Lina, he was probably dead there because he would have nowhere to hide. He would be in an open area. So yeah, it worked out.
All right, let's see what they can do with this. It looks like we just picked up a Shadow Blade for the Lina, so she hits even harder. She's in the base though, currently having to force out the waves, and topping net worth has gone past the Drow.
They're fighting for that first spot. Really. It's good that XERXIA took the tier 2 on the bottom lane, so now they're gonna equalize that. This is gonna help them contest the second Roche. Yeah, they got the first one, but the Roche potential for Execration was too slow. But for the second one, there is gonna be a level 4 tag team most likely, and then it is gonna be faster for Execration. So if the lanes, the equilibrium, and everything would be same as last time, XERXIA wouldn't be able to make it in time.
TP in from Drow. Palos has to be careful of his positioning. There is a Ken Tiny not too far away. Xiao Bon Bon. Blink Dagger available too. He could just blink Telekinesis, pull him closer for Tiny to blow him up. Rocket Flare right on the money.
Tower is being
They're
attacked.
going to be running out. Eidolon's pushing top lane once again.
This is the thing that the XERXIA have to deal with, that the Execration are doing slightly better. You have the Beastmaster, so you could respond, but they're afraid because Execration have better initiation
They're
with
split.
more of their heroes.
They don't have the beast. They don't have the Beastmaster at all. If they go in now, this is a fight Execration can win.
An awesome fight for them if they can initiate.
It's taking them so long to get in, and actually
Yeah.
allows their XERXIA to get the fight in first. BKB popped as the snowball comes in. They're looking for the gyrocopter on the side to get their first kill. They shall. Tusk is gonna die though. They lost a core. It took them way too long, and they were afraid to take that fight.
Not the worst thing in the world. 9-second BKB from the Tiny has been forced in a defensive manner, so XERXIA can't really take much out of the map. They can finish the tier 2 though in the mid lane.
They have double blinks as well, so they can still fight just like that. Jawbonbon goes for the first one, and Kenta follow, and that is Palos almost dying. Nice force staff from him to get himself a bit further away, but that's a million-mile snowball from Jawbonbon. But he's allowed to escape because they have nothing to jump him with.
They got scared. Usually it's the Drow that likes to be in front, pretty much run towards your enemies, and then if they try to go for you, your team re-engages. But Palos was like, no, I don't have the HP necessary. One stray spell hits me, and I'm
Yep.
just dead.
And they got a tower for free because of that. So for a moment it
lane-
felt like, well, it's not the hugest loss for Execration, but then they still did end up losing an objective.
Top lane though could be an issue. There's a billion Eidolons there again, and someone needs to TP. This is another opening for Execration if they can be slightly faster.
Nice. Hookshot connects. A lot of damage coming in. BKB pop though. Karma has the fight without casting any extra spells, and those stacks are gonna run out. But the extra damage from the Shadow Blade will finish off Shanks. However, a tier 3 tower has been lost. And wait, hang on. Ken just killed Bob? Okay,
Yep.
Jawbonbon and Ken just blew up Bob.
Yeah, nicely done. It was very important to do so, because it would be really bad if the mid lane started pushing in towards you. You lost a tier 3 and a 9-second BKB and you don't get anything out of it. So I was thinking, where are the rest of XERXIA? But they do make something happen. So a nice kill on Ken. Now that gives them the time to spread around the map. They have the resources to fight again.
Rubik just staying outside of vision from the courier. They're teleporting onto a Hawk, and they've got Asta to join in the fight. Mirana just deleted. Straight to the tier 1 tower as well.
Asta deals massive amounts of damage. This is the hero that the Drow needs to deal with. Having the butterfly allows you to do so. So that little bit of a range difference that you have over the Lina, actually, you don't have a range difference over the Lina because you are not carrying the groove bow any longer. Interesting choice from Palos.
Yep. We haven't seen a black hole in a while, but Tino, he's finished off a BKB, going for the Lincolns. This is the build you go for against the Rubik. So once you have this, then you can freely black hole any core you see on site, and in this game, it has to be the Lina, who's going to be heavily focused. Can't
It
get
has to be the
roared.
Lina.
The problem is for XERXIA, if Lina is caught in the black hole, firstly you gotta act fast. Do you cancel the black hole or do you steal the black hole? It's really down to Rubik and Beastmaster which one they prioritize. Interrupting the fight right where it is, or having a turnaround opportunity where the Rubik steals, because one of those spells is to break the Lincolns and the other one will go through.
The thing is, once the Enigma gets the Lincolns, Clockwork has only one thing to do: catch the Rubik. That's it. You catch the Rubik. You don't care about the Beastmaster because he's not gonna be able to cancel it. So you find the Rubik with the hook shot, and that's it. You won the fight. So that's something that Execration are gonna be gunning for.
Still, we'll see. If they just use the spell steal to break the Lincolns, then the black hole will get cancelled by Rapido. They just need to stack both of them at the same time. So means that Rubik and Beast can't leave the Lina alone a single time this game.
That's the opening Execration are going to be looking for. When one of them isn't there, that's the ideal time to fight. But XERXIA have been doing a good thing in the last 5 minutes. Ever since they lost the tier 3 tower on top, they have been pushing out the lanes quite nicely. And you can see the positioning of the lanes. And the Execration, when everyone is missing, no one is going to be showing. They're going to have to smoke out themselves once XERXIA shows themselves, just to connect onto some area of the map.
Dealing a lot of damage. That Maelstrom adding in some extra procs in between. Roshan up in 40 seconds. Still not up for XERXIA, who currently have control of this area. But we haven't really seen Execration push their advantage either. They're just playing it defensive, farming up their Drow. It feels like they're not in a hurry. I mean, Enigma still scales very well. Has a lot of room to improve. So it has the Drow also still keeps getting bigger and bigger. Like she's very scary to deal with later on in this game. But this also allows XERXIA, if you look at their side, Lina's strong. Tiny Aghanims is still something that's completely unaccounted for. And he can get another crit item on top. Like, say, if he wants to get a Silver Edge, he'd have the Crystallis crit. Or if you want to go for Daedalus for even harder hitting trees. They are going to find Bob. He was sniped last time by Ken. Ken with a DD rune. He's all by himself. Hookshot misses. Shards misses. Malphus connects. Palos coming in with the right click. And that's it.
Literally one. Literally one. They didn't know where the rest of the XERXIA team was. And okay, they moved back. It's not only... Either they're behind the Tiny, they're gonna crush us, or they're doing Roche. And they send the rocket towards the Roche pit, saving their resources. But this is really bad if the Roche falls. The Drow didn't buy a shard because you were counting on that
no
second
hook shot.
Roche. And it's
Can't
not
do
gonna
it.
go your way.
They're gonna take it. There's no hook shot because they just used it. They used everything on a Tiny. So Ken, their team is applauding him right now. They could almost just tip the Tiny at this point because he bought so much time and space. But now they're going to stack up. Karma charging in front. Going to get hit by the Cog split shot. Doing a lot of damage. He's down to 500 HP. First life about to be lost already. The Aegis is gone. They can't even kill the Morana. Look at how spread they are. Tino coming in. Black Hole will be used. Hookshot to the back. The Roar will cancel it. Enigma doesn't get much out, but they will get Asta out of the line of fire. Ken hitting the backline. BDC low on HP. Shanks is going to be falling. And now onto Palos. He needs to get some free reign, but he's being surrounded from every single direction. Drow surrounded by XERXIA, and they take him down. And this Enigma, it's not even a threat. And here comes an Aghanims as well, thrown in by Ken. A couple trees. They don't connect, but it doesn't matter. Bob will die in the river. That's a team wipe, and XERXIA have full control of what they want to do in these fights. That was perfectly planned out, and it went exactly where Lincoln's broken by spell steal into the Roar cancel, and they got the Lina to safety.
You could see the mistake from Execration as well. They chased down the Lina. The second that the Lina got tossed back by the Rubik, that's it. You pull back. You stay on that high ground. But no, they went down to chase for the Lina, and it allowed Ken to sandwich them. More.
Tosses the Dolan instead.
Didn't have enough range immediately. That's why he does the Eidolon. He was actually right next to Tino, but he moved a step back. The hero did it because he didn't have enough range. No one from XERXIA stepped in front. If someone stepped just one step towards them, I think the Tino Enigma just dies there.
Let's see what comes out of this. Execration just feel like they're are unable to approach. Drow's getting let's say Drow's getting a lot of damage, but Drow could be doing much more damage.
He needs a crit. He needs a Crystallis. If he had a Crystallis in the previous engagement, good chance Karma just dies. Your attack speed is insane. No reason not to get a crit. If he goes for a Swift Blink, I think that's a mistake. Silver Edge is the item to go for right now.
Yeah, Karma, Asta could have had a chance to actually die in that fight, but in this case he does live. Shows himself pushing out the mid wave. Currently 3 heroes from Execration heading towards top. They're getting cut out. The ward in the lane. It expires. BDZ always in trouble. His courier gets smacked down by the Tiny. Roar coming out. Tosses Rapido in. Jaja will get the kill on BDZ, and Karma hunting for more. Trying to cut out the way. Bob. LSA. Oh, he's already out. And Shanks is also out.
And that was dangerously close for Bob. He just bought back. It would have been a dieback, and they straight up towards the up move towards the high ground. But okay, he's fine. Morana is a small price to pay.
Yeah, they're happy with it for now. They're going for Gyro.
Look at the nowhere to go. The vision of XERXIA is amazing. They have these wards very close to the lanes, spotting what's happening there. And if they need to fight in a jungle, they are always gonna have a Hawk there to give them the division advantage. So this is a very cool approach. They know when the enemies are trying to split push, and then they can go for them and just send out the Hawk to hunt them or cover their retreat.
Drow with 3,000 gold. Shanks also popping the overclocking here. Rocket flare spam.
Under fire.
Sending a fleet of rockets towards the top lane. They see that the Lina has just teleported here. Bob, meanwhile, pushed out the bottom wave. Catapult is pummeling the tier 2 tower. Not gonna show his hero though. Just hoping somebody's gonna defend that lane. Maybe make a play happen somewhere else on the map. BDC warding his triangle as well, but they don't know about the other ward that was placed down.
XERXIA either need a lane of Rax or a Roche before this this Tusk gets an Aghanims. Once he gets an Aghs, it changes the flow of the fights quite a lot, and you're not gonna be getting into a spot where you get sandwiched because you are gonna be taking the enemies out of position. It's not you that are gonna be out of position. And really, Lincoln Sphere, it's not something that anyone on XERXIA wants to build. Lina currently though is thinking about it.
I love how Lina just throws in a couple of quick pokes, instantly disengages. Oh, Ken. Oh, they've seen both of them. They have to blink out. Sadly, with all this information Execration is getting, they're still not feeling comfortable enough making the actual move.
Jaja alone taking your outpost.
Constantly.
And Execration, they're in their triangle, and they're being spotted by vision. Okay, this ward could cost them the game, because none of these sentries are actually catching it. It's in a perfect position between these two sentries that Execration have currently.
Right in between. Also showing the location of Palos. Again, stacking up in mid. XERXIA, what do they want to do? Lincoln's coming up for the Lina. She's already strong. Look at the tiny. There we see it. Crystallis with the Aghanims. The Aghanims, which we've already seen, but the Crystallis already. This guy hits so goddamn hard. And now it's a Daedalus. Prime time for XERXIA. Lift coming in from Xiaobonbon as the D-ward attempt from Mirana. Look at that. Gets one tree hit. If another one would have been there and it would have been a crit, that could have been a kill.
And also, the Aghanims is great against the Lina because this hero likes to stand its ground. But against the Aghanims from the Tiny, you're gonna push Palos into a position that he doesn't want to be in, either too close to the enemies, or he's gonna run away and not gonna be able to attack. So that is gonna be a good zoning spell as well, even if Ken can't do massive amounts of damage. But there are multiple ways to use this. It's already 1400 in terms of crits.
Considering XERXIA's situation in the group stage, this is an important victory for them if they can close it out. This is the 1 point that pushes them one win away from elimination. They're still in the elimination line, but if they lose this, say, wasn't it XERXIA who actually had one of those games where they led and then they gave it away and lost it, and then they lost the series?
Yes,
they were already in the situation where they needed points, yeah. So they don't want to have a repeat of that again. Naja getting thrown away. Snowball chasing in deep. Bob.
He's
out. A
out.
rocket following. There's a lot of backup on the other side of the river, but no hook shot. The roar cancels his teleport. His big KB is going to be running out too. He's in trouble. Call down is going to connect on the spot. He walrus punches the bird instead of the hero, so he doesn't get rooted. Able to snowball in, and now they're all stacked up. They're all perfect! Tino! But the snowball coming in from Rubik, they're still all alive. They're coming back into the fight. Palos dealing up the damage. Ken blinks out. They just don't die.
What does the Execration lineup need to win this game? A 5-man black hole, not good enough. XERXIA still survived. The Rubik snowball save at the end there, it allows most of them to just run away.
Holy Xiaobonbon. Stolen snowball save. Man, that guy was clicking like mad to get them all in, but still the fight's not over. Ken, he will die. Drow gets the blink away. They trade 1 for 1. Tino down to Asta. And Ken falling. They will lose the Mirana too, so now it's just down to the Drow with no buybacks. Might have hyped that black hole because it was a mad black hole, but you gotta hype up Xiaobonbon with that save because now they're pushing high ground with it.
for sure. Luckily for this Drow, the Lina doesn't have a blink because the Hawk seeing Palos right now. Okay, he has the Lincolns. Even if the Hawk would kill itself onto the Drow, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. So level 25 on Palos. Does the Lina have 25 as well? Yeah, he went for the Laguna Blade Persis spell immunity. Yeah, the Lina doesn't have the range talent any longer.
Yeah, Laguna Blade is with that talent. Even Roshan hates it. Massive big burst to throw in. Refresher for Rapido. 2 roars available. Aegis for the Lina. And what else? Is there an axe buff? There's the cheese on the beast as well. So I think it was just the refresher cheese and the Aegis. I don't see an axe.
Yeah, he's the third. He's the third Rosh.
Yeah, third Roshan indeed.
This Lina attacks 4 times in a second. He has the Silver Edge as well, so every second he's at least gonna be getting out 1 crit out, and his damage output is actually quite high. He almost has 300 damage per hit.
Yep.
This is a very strong Lina.
Very strong Lina indeed, but is Palos as strong on this Drow Ranger? Because the problem, he still does not have himself a crit to amplify that damage. We saw the black hole, but no damage follow-up. Bob goes in. They're going to get the gyrocopter support out of the way. Ken's going to get hit by the hookshot. Shanks pushing him away, but still the safety distance. Palos is so far away from the action, and they've lost Shanks. Ken just turns around, slaps him down.
He's soft on the inside.
Palos is so fearful for his life that he doesn't even get to shoot on this Drow. He only takes the targets she can with the multi-shot.
Yeah, and he didn't go for the multi-shot talent on level 25. This is how he's gonna play. The multi-shot talent makes a lot more sense. You buy the shard, you go for the multi-shot talent, and then okay, you are still gonna be doing massive amounts of damage. But with the right talent, the 12% marksmanship chance, you need to get those hits in.
Yep. Yeah, you need more waves if you're gonna be playing like that. He's itemized himself as well to be defensive enough to stay in those fights. But we're not really seeing Palos in close range.
To be fair though, in that engagement in particular, they only saw 2 heroes and they didn't have any wards of their own, neither the sentries. So he never would have known if the Lina gets close to him. 1 stun from the Lina and Palos is dead. The Enigma might not even be able to react how fast the Drow Ranger is gonna be taken down.
It just feels bad for it just feels bad for Shanks because he hookshots in and he's got the tiny lockdown for like 3 to 4 seconds, and that's optimal time to deal damage, and there's no target to hit because Palos is not there. But now Asta finishes off with the tower. He's gonna run out of stacks though. Hookshot in. Shanks, Lincoln's pop. Bob coming in with the Walrus Punch. He takes down something else. It's the Boar. And now snowballing in again. Stolen Snowball on Snowball here. He's gonna get stunned while it runs over him. And Karma with that pure damage Laguna Blade. He cleans out the Tusk. He's gone for 70 seconds without a buyback.
Not really sure what the Tusk was doing there. He does have the kickback. You need to be certain that you're gonna be getting that one out. Use the snowball, you kick someone back, and you come back towards your team. That's how it needs to be.
Up on. Lift. Stolen Axis. Does a bit of damage under the clockwork, but the rest is dealt by Asta and Ken. Wraith Pact also cleared away. No good. No use here. Clockwork can buy back. Hookshot is available. It's just come off cooldown. They burnt the Aegis. Here's your chance. Here's your chance. Arrow misses. Hookshot does connect though. Shanks already down to half HP. 2 crits in the face and he's almost dead already. He gets the Force Staff. He's out of there. Overcharging vision. Black hole onto the Lina. Lina gonna go down. They've got it. And Xiao Bonbon, he's waiting for the black hole steal. And he's gonna get it. Does he? No, he got the Malefice, but it doesn't matter. They're gonna get the chance to fight Palos. He's in the front line. They need help. He needs help. Force Staff coming in. Tree toss. Oh, it dodges. It dodges. And the Axis Rapido. So close to it getting it. No. Palos gets out. Palos gets out.
Matter. Karma bought back and he is back here. Now there's no black hole. How do you win a fight? Okay, you have Bob back.
They have Bob. Bob just might be their win condition. The aggression he provides, maybe this is the time to do it. There we go. Full-on connection. Just at the same time onto the Lina. Lina down to half HP. Palos needs to take these targets, and there's the multi-shot. Only a couple hits in. And now freely hitting on Ken. Ken's gonna die. Ken's got nowhere to go. Palos aggressively blinking and seeking. Now Xiao Bonbon.
The simple truth is,
holding on.
If the Lina isn't attacking, XERXIA don't have the damage necessary. And you could see that Asta this time around, he was more timid because without the buyback, your base is just gone. As soon as Execration starts pushing there, the damage output of the Lina is way too high. So he didn't have the guts to stay there and attack, even though Tiny found a perfect initiation. So Execration, now they are up ahead because they've got into XERXIA's head. XERXIA has been winning for so long, and now there is a win condition for Execration. Just kill the Lina and it can be over. Plus a DD on the bottom lane.
Palos right-clicking for 800 damage. Is that enough? It's a tier 2 tower down in a matter of seconds. Towards the tier 3 they would like to go, but no creeps. They're very far away. The boars were cutting them, and the granite golem finally cleared out. 30 seconds for Tiny.
1000 damage per hit with this double damage.
Oh,
man,
yeah,
if he starts going into anyone,
Vlad's
they're
aura.
just gonna die.
The Vlad's aura with the extra 18%. Shanks is going in. Hook shot on Jaja. And here comes Palos. 1, 2, 3 hits. And look at Asta. Oh, Palos. Wow.
Oh man, Swift Blink DD rune. He had more than 1000 damage with the Swift Blink. Who needs a crit here, Panda? Who cares? It's not fun one-shotting the opponents.
Lina dieback. Gone for 110. Execration have a win condition. Shop on pawn. Oh, here goes Bob.
Bob.
This is classic Bob gameplay. Tino. Oh, if they still win this game, that's quite the something they can. And Palos, he's finally found himself the courage to fight them. Ken's gonna get hook shot. Palos fighting from the low ground, getting back onto the chase. Swift blink in, right on top of the Rubik. Sharp on bot down. He's gonna buy back and he's gonna be running out. And there's only 3 remaining on the side of Execration. This game's not over. This game is not over. Execration, they're gonna reset. Palos, he could blink and he's gonna go, he's gonna try and catch up on Bond, he's gonna get a couple right clicks in, a couple procs coming in, but the multi-shot, or the split shot, not quite gonna connect.
He missed on the silence. Okay, Execration now, their hands are shaking. Something is wrong. It's not looking good. They had this game in their bags, and they just decided to give a chance to XERXIA, and now they're panicking. They need to stop.
Lane of racks taken. Lift coming out. Lincoln's has been popped. Palos roared up. He needs a save. He needs some help. Tino on the side. 1000 HP, 300, 200. Can he get out? Yes, he got the 4 staff. Still alive. Another one. BDZ pushing him to safety. Rapido coming in for the side, but no vision and teleports home. Palos is safe.
Bob tips him like, be better than me.
God damn it,
be
Bob.
better than me. I didn't know Zhao Bonbon stole the leaps from the Mirana. That's why he got so deep. I mean, he didn't know. He thought he was gonna catch Zhao Bonbon there, but just not fast enough on the kick.
Oh, this game is something else. Oh man, I'm sorry, Tino, that I laughed at you, but the whole sequence of abilities. The whole sequence was just quite the something. But Palos he's getting the courage. I mean, he's only died once this game. And like, this is what I wanted to see from him. And finally we do. The Swift Blink and the DD gave him the courage that these guys are easy one by one. He's just afraid of the whole team collapsing on top of him.
He's going for the Daedalus. He's gonna have to switch out the boots. That's why I wanted the Silver Edge more. Another positioning item would have been better. This is more damage, but it's riskier. He does have the ninja gear that kind of pulls him out of that risky situation a bit, but he is relying a lot on the movements for sure.
50 minutes, ladies and gents. 64 kills in this game. XERXIA still holding on to a lead, but not by much. We see a fantastic defense into push from Execration, leading to an even more deadlier fight inside their base with the DD rune on the Drow. At least that teaches us something. XERXIA can't give another DD for Drow.
I thought that Execration are gonna put the wards onto runes now, just because how much they gave them there. Just wait for the DD and go for it, because Palos felt just how easily he can kill the enemies. but they didn't. The only one that has Ruined Vision is going to be XERXIA, so they're most likely going to be gunning for that one with Asta.
They have vision on the side of Execration, at least, by constantly throwing in the rockets. They are using the Hawks, well, in pretty interesting locations, at least. They want to see what's going on, but there's a fight breaking loose, which is much more important here. They've got themselves the Tiny, and how fast does Ken fall? Very, very fast. He does have a buyback available. Tino gets Rapido, and a million miles away Black Hole. He's got another one to spare, and he will save it for later because Bob, as he kicks him in, Tino right-clicks him to death. Enigma gets the last hit on it. Jaja already pushing in the top lane, and that forces the Tusk to go back to defend.
Man, the Drow Ranger damage output is insane. Okay, they see that the Roche is happening. They have two buybacks, but they have nowhere to TP to. The no boots of travel on the Tiny, no boots of travel on the Beastmaster. This is the fourth Roche is going into the hands of Execration.
1200 crits by Palos onto Roshan. So maybe an axe for Palos, or is it for Tino? Oh yes, the vacuum cleaner. Let's go.
Immortality.
The vacuum cleaner and percentage-based damage in the black hole. More and more damage.
That does make sense. If you get a 0-man black hole, at least you're pulling them in. Though Tino, not to take it away from him, he got a 5-man this game.
He did.
Unfortunately,
He's seen both ups and downs.
Yeah. The thing is that when you get a 5-man black hole, you feel good only with a 5-man black hole. And then when you have a 0-1, it can lead to depression. Hopefully, Tino does have the mental fortitude here to persist.
Hopefully he does. Execration looking for an angle to penetrate the base. And right on top of Jabon Vaughn might as well. He's going to get the hookshot from Shanks, but the 4-staff saves are kicking in. He's still going to get hit by Bob. Bob, once again, last time he died here. This time he kills here. Drops the gem on the ground from the Rubik and Palos. They're not going for the tier 4 towers. Rubik doesn't have a buyback. He's still on cooldown for 3 minutes. It's going to be 5 versus 4. Or even 6 versus 4 because the Aegis is still there.
Oh, you can even count the cheese there. The Clockwork not going to be an easy one to take down, though he might be needing some mana in the meantime. Bob, into the fountain. Let's go.
Oh my god, Bob, you're a content king. Oh. Okay, he's buying time. They're taking the tier 4 towers. He forced out the glyph. How much space can he still create here? He's being tossed in the air. Whee! Oh, Bob is gone. All seriousness aside, Jaja looking for more rockets. He's in the front line now. He's right there in their faces. Marana gets slapped out by a tree from Ken. And Palos, he's already far away, but Jaja continues to be relentless with the chase. He's going to go down. Palos now right-clicking onto Ken. Asta on the side, looking for the stun on Tino. Tino gets the blink up, but he can't get the gem. He's got too many items in his inventory. 10 seconds onto his black hole. He's got a refresher available too. And Ken and Asta, they're going to be careful now because the Enigma is about to turn his attention towards them. Palos with the blink and repeat. Oh, just before the damage in. But Ken's not going to be as lucky. He's going to be taken down. Tier 4 tower still up. Asta, he's in trouble. He needs more men. He needs more firepower. He can't just be the only soul hero. He misses the stun. And the Laguna Blade into the Lincolns. But Tino, black hole on top of Lina. No BKB. Who needs that even? He's got a refresher for another. Rapido finding back. Asta coming in with a buyback. Palos fighting them away, keeping them off. Tino, 200 HP. Black hole has 2. Palos in here for the finish off the clean house to get the rest of them. And they've got it. They've done it. Execration. They mount the comeback. And a successful victory in the end after a series of events. Execration, first game for them.
Man, if I've ever seen Bob in my life, I'm gonna hug him. This guy has made me laugh, has made the games interesting so many times. He has made so many cool plays in his life. Just he's all around, this guy, and he makes Dota so much more entertaining. Though, yeah, not to take things away from Palos. Really, his movements in fights, his understanding how to position 16 and 1 end here in the game. He's the real MVP of this game, and really, I don't know if you saw there his 4-staff usage to dodge the avalanche to the side and continue killing the Tiny. Of course, Ken did have a buyback, but those are some really cool 4-staff usages we saw in the previous series today as well. But Palos showing that he's just on par there. Just sidestep to the left and just continue getting the hits in. You don't get into the Tiny's face, but you dodge his avalanche. Just beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful indeed. That's what sums up this first game. A lot of fun content. This was a fun game, but all seriousness aside, Execration takes the first game out of this one. XERXIA, we discussed this scenario before. Man, they're going to be disappointed if they lose another game which they're leading and they can't close it out. They just couldn't find the tools for it anymore. Execration, too scary with the late game Enigma, with the late game Drow. Too much to deal with. But, you know, the series ain't over. You got to lift your heads up and start looking towards game 2. And that, ladies and gents, is after the break. We'll see you in a bit.